Hey, this is Romey-Mak, and you're listening to the Innerview with Rome podcast. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Romey-Mak with another edition of Interview with Rome. I'm back at you again with some more people to interview and kind of just interview of that individual that we are having on the show. Today's guest I have with me, Kayla Edgemon, a great person that's on social media right now. For as far as I know, just Instagram, but just doing, we're following her weight loss journey that she's had. And, she's mentioned that she's had been down, battle with weight loss pretty much since high school, and kind of find something that works. So maybe this will be helpful to you guys. She's 28 years old, mother of three, and a wife, since just juggles all these things, it kind of just makes it happen. But without further ado, I want to bring forth Kayla Edgemon. Kayla, welcome to the show, or K-Slay as I call her. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm glad you wanted to have me.
How's your day going so far?
Pretty good so far. It's been busy, kids keeping me busy, work keeping me busy. Got my workout in this morning. Pretty good so far.
Okay, cool. Well, I like to start off my first question for you as in, who is Kayla Edgemon?
Just a pretty much regular person. I'm a mom like so many other women who has problems with their physical appearance and health, and trying to change that, and also trying to balance life, friends, family, work, my kids, making sure that I keep everything squared away with the husband, and make sure we stay good, and make sure I make myself happy, my kids, raising them, busy life.
Life in Texas, how's that? How would you describe an average day living in Texas?
I think it's pretty awesome. I love Texas. I was born in Georgia, moved to Oklahoma when I was younger, and then I think I was in 5th grade, we moved to Texas, and I just always loved it here. I mean, you can drive for like miles and miles and just see so many different things. Like everyone always thinks, it's just all dry and desert and hills for days out here. It's not. You can go to the big city. You can go find some really cool places to go and have an adventure. There's mountains, there's valleys, there's lakes, there's cities, there's shopping areas, and lots of fun stuff to do, amusement parks. It's fun, like it's entertaining, and to me, like I've been to other states and everything, and to me, Texas is definitely home.
All right. Would that make you a Cowboy fan?
I'm not a sports fan.
Thank God. As long as you're not a Cowboy fan, that's all that matters.
I've never, even when I was in the sports, I was not a Cowboys fan.
So what was your personality like in high school?
In high school, I was kind of shy, but I was extremely outgoing and probably pretty weird to some people. I didn't really voice my opinion very much. I kind of went with the flow. I was friends with like everybody though. Like, there's like different cliques in high school, of course. And I had friends from like every, clique that there was. Like, I got along with pretty much everybody unless they pissed me off. I was pretty outgoing in high school, but also shy at the same time. A lot of people didn't see me as shy though. Was I shy? To some degree. to some degree I was shy. I was definitely chasing skirts. That was my issue when I was in high school. And I played sports and I quit them. Like, I couldn't commit to anything. I was very spoiled. I was very spoiled. So a lot of things. So if things didn't go my way, it's like, oh, forget it. I just let it be. I won't do it anymore. Type thing. But I didn't get into much trouble besides sneaking girls in the house. Before parents. Yeah, I was that kid. I was that kid, or sneaking into their house. So again, for any parent that remembered me as a kid, don't take this personal. We were kids. We did things we had no business doing. And if my daughter is listening, do not do what your father did. I can't say that. But so, what is it that you hope to obtain with your Instagram page? The whole point of my Instagram when I first started was to help keep myself accountable and kind of just be in that world of other people seeing, this is my progress, this is my story, and then I would want to go see their stories and their progress. But now I'm at the point to where like so many people have come to me and said that I motivate them and inspire them. And so me just being transparent on my Instagram and being like truthful and with all my ups and downs, my struggles, my progress, everything, then it's just become to a point where I want to show other people how possible it is, even as hard as it is. You know, I want to show people, you know, if you set your mind to something, you can do it.
So how is it running a family and making time to work out consistently?
Oh, man, it is hard. It is actually pretty stressful. I try to get up, and that's like the first thing I do in the morning is I do my workout. You know, my kids, they watch TV in the morning whenever they wake up. So I get up, make them breakfast, get them settled, and I usually put on my headphones and just do my workout right there in my living room or in my backyard. Whenever Brian is home, I go out in the garage, and I have a home gym. So I get a better workout then, in my opinion. But I do what I can at home. Sometimes my kids interrupt me, so it's like an extended workout because I have to keep taking breaks. And I actually just got him to start working out again, and so now we take turns.
That's great. It's a family business now. So how hard was it to find a program that best suited you for your weight loss?
Oh my gosh, it was so hard. Like, I got to a point where I had tried so many different things. Nothing was working and, like, seeing the results I want. Like, I would try different products and I would try different, you know, diets and stuff like that. And I would lose, like, a pound in 3 months, and it was just so devastating to me. And so I had issues with my pain tolerance and everything because I have fibromyalgia. Mm-hmm. And I have chronic migraines and all this other stuff. And it was super difficult. That's what I think is really taking me so long to actually stay committed to something, is when you don't see that, you know, the progress happening, and when you're putting in all this hard work, or it's just not what you think it should be, it really does break you down, and it's hard to get through on something like that. So honestly, I can say I tried literally almost everything up until last August. I found something, and it was probably when I was about to pretty much give up. I started finally accepting, you know, I'm always going to be big. This is just how I am, and I can't do it. And then a friend sent me this girl's picture, and she said something about, you know, the 21-day meal plan. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll check it out. And I started looking at all these results. I was like, that is insane how fast they are losing this weight. Like, I've never seen that without, you know, someone having surgery. And surgery was by far the last thing I wanted to do, because I'm calling other people cheaters or anything, but in my heart, if I was to do the surgery, that's not putting in the work.
Yeah.
And so I found it, and I was like, okay, this is $20. Like, either I'm going to lose $20 and get over it, or this is $20 that could actually work. And so I did it, and the amount of weight I lost in the first month is what it took me a year to lose that amount before I found this.
Wow. So what's the official name of that program again?
The program is called the 21-Day Meal Plan. It's not the Beachbody 21-Day Fix. It's its own little meal plan. It's called the 21-Day Meal Plan. It's by a really sweet, awesome girl named Tiffany. She created it, and she's just changed so many people's lives.
Good. So shout out to Tiffany for creating that, helping people get inspired, motivated to, you know, to live a better life, being a little bit more healthy, and, you know, just kind of extending their days here on this earth, trying to remain healthy. I want you to, to explain to the folks what exactly is, you said fibromyalgia, is that you suffer from?
Yes, I have fibromyalgia. It started a little bit after high school. I think it might have started before then, but it's like overactive nerves. So I feel pain. I have certain tender spots on my body, but I feel pain almost all the time. Little things like somebody poking me, or like my kids climbing on me, it hurts like really bad. Or, you know, I bang my shin on something and I'm like on the floor in pain, like crying, and it's extended pain because they're overactive nerves. So it doesn't, you know, go away in 5 minutes. It's there for days, and it's just really horrible to live with. There was days I couldn't get out of bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't pick up my kids. So I got really depressed. And You can develop it from being overweight or being depressed, but there's pretty much no cure for it. Fortunately, when I started the plan, I was only able to do like maybe 10-minute workouts of very, very low tolerance workouts, like major beginner, and I would be so out of breath. I'd be in so much pain, but I kept, pushing through it. And now I'm at a point where I can get up, I can go do stuff with my kids. It eases up. I still have bad days where I'm like super inflamed, and it's called a fibro flare and everything, but I still make sure I get up and I do what I can. But it is just crazy how much that pain has eased up since I have started getting healthier.
So how long before you started seeing results from your workout with this 21 day? 21 day. Okay.
So I started my first 3 days on the plan. I lost 5 pounds.
Wow.
First week, 9 pounds, and then the first 21 days, which they call it a round, I lost a total of 15 pounds. And after that, it kind of slowed down, your body adjusts and stuff. But I started actually working out on the 3rd week, and I noticed that whenever, I would do cardio, it would help with that. It would take a couple more days. So it kind of slowed down my, scale victories, but I started noticing a lot more change in my body. Like, my swelling would go down, and I noticed my clothes were getting a little bit looser, and I got more, and then I was just looking at stuff on YouTube, just doing these little workouts. And then one of my friends, her name's Kylie, she is like a freaking beast. She does a lot of strength training and weights and stuff, and she started telling me about it. I was like, okay, well, let's give this a shot. And so I started working with a lot more weights and, taking up the weight rather than doing little 3-pound weights and more reps and everything. There's still days I do that, but I do have my days that I work with heavier weights. It was so hard for me when I first started to even pick up a 5-pound weight and hold it above my head. And now I'm sitting here holding 40 pounds above my head.
Wow. And
just the amount of muscle that I've built up in my body, it's replaced a lot of the fatty tissue and everything. I can definitely tell, but I'm pretty sure this is the strongest I've ever been in my entire life.
Oh, well, you gotta thank Tiffany, man. That's great. That's really good. That's inspiring for the folks that are listening to this interview right now, I'm sure. So I'm sure they're going to inquire about Tiffany's and your contact information, which we'll get into at the end of this interview. But I want to switch a little bit of topic sort. So at least for me, I know for me, as much as I work out, I love to eat, and I have a lot of weaknesses when it comes to eating, especially Italian food. So I want to ask you, what is your weakness when it comes to food?
My weakness is definitely sweets and pastas. I absolutely love pasta and everything. I've just kind of chose a healthier alternative and limit myself and portion out. And then sweets. Sweets is still a struggle for me. I love chocolate. I've always loved sweets. And, I used to absolutely love candy. It was sad. I had candy in my purse or in my room at all times. And now I barely want candy. It's more so I'm just needing something sweeter, but I try to avoid that. I drink some water. I go eat something else that's going to help with that. I usually choose berries, and I still have my days where I give in. I definitely don't give in as much as I used to. I don't binge like I used to. I could go and eat, a whole box of the Debbie oatmeal cream pies, but now, if I was to take a bite of one, that'd probably be enough for me.
Yeah, I used to. Me too. As far as little Debbie stuff, growing up, I was very big into oatmeal cream pies, Star Crunch, zebra cakes for sure.
Oh my gosh, the Star Crunch! Yeah. Those were the best.
Yeah. Whenever we have sporting events, and I don't know if your kids are in your sports, but you always got that mom that's in charge of snacks that particular game, and my mom would always bring the Star Crunches, and she would bring zebra cakes for us. So I used to house them all the time. Waiting for the game, whether we won or lost. I was looking forward to that Star Crunch, little with little league baseball games and stuff like that. So, So have you ever considered doing any plus size modeling with all the working out that you're doing and shaping your body and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Before I had kids, I was doing a little plus size modeling for a photographer that was building her portfolio, and then I had a couple other people, and I would absolutely love to get back into that. Even at where I am now, I just don't really know how to get back into that, I guess.
Okay. Well, with that being said, photographers, if you are listening, so photographers that I know, and photographers that just happen to be scrolling on YouTube and come across this view, be sure to check out Kay Slay, better known as Kayla Edgemon, as far as doing plus size modeling going forward. You won't be sorry. Check out her pics. Very, very beautiful young lady. Devoted mother and wife. So yeah, take advantage. And question: who is your support system?
I have a really amazing support system. I've actually been really surprised at how many people tell their story of how, like their husbands are completely against it or just put them down all the time. And then, their friends and family tell them, they won't get through it. Well, for me, my entire family, my husband, even my kids, my daughter will sit there and be like, Mommy, you can do this, or Mommy, you're doing great. My friends, one of my best friends is just as into weight loss as I am. She is probably one of my biggest inspirations for commitment. And then, I have all these other friends into fitness and stuff. I have the ones that aren't, and then the support system that you gain with the 21-day meal plan people, they're all going through the same thing as you are. They're on the same plan as you. They have some of the similar struggles. Some people in there, they have all these different diseases and stuff, and people don't realize how much they can relate to them. And then, you see, their struggles, and you're like, okay, well, at least I'm not alone. And then my husband, he has been my rock. Like, he is there every single day helping me. He was a little scared at first, how to approach me when he knew I was, doing something bad that I would regret later. But now he kind of knows, just kind of ease on me and be like, babe, think about how that's going to, turn out and everything. And then every time I have progress, even if it's just like the smallest thing, like, oh my God, I can sit and my legs don't touch, like I have a gap between my legs. It's crazy. He thinks that is so awesome. He told me the other day that I actually am inspiring him, and that's why he wanted to start working out. He's eating on the plan with me now, and he likes it. He's having a hard time with his cravings, and then my family, they all think it's really awesome, and then I'm doing a great job. And every now and then I'll go to my mom and talk to her about my struggles and everything, and she's always there. And I swear to God, she's like the best person at giving me like a lecture. Like she'll be brutally honest with me, but she's also supportive at the same time. I would say literally, like, every person in my life right now is so supportive of me, even all the strangers.
So shout out to Brian for being such an amazing husband, and of course Mom for being there and being and lecturing. So which leads into the next question. So how did you meet your husband?
So we have like a really cute little love story. We actually dated in middle school, and he was the first boy to ever tell me that he loved me, and I turned him down. Wow. And then, we went through, rest of middle school, we went through high school, kind of, knew each other and everything. And then he went into the Army, and then he eventually got married, and he had a daughter who's my oldest stepdaughter. And things didn't work out with them, and then I was engaged to someone else, and then things didn't work out. And then we were just, doing our own thing, and then came across him on Meet Me. He had commented on one of my pictures, and it's funny because I didn't even recognize who he was. And for the first time ever responding to someone on there, I told him, I was like, cute smile. And then I realized it was him, and so we met up that night, and we spent like the next 48 hours together, and it was like you couldn't separate us at that point. All these feelings came rushing back, and we've been together ever since, and that was almost 6 years ago. And I've never, felt the connection and the love that I do with him, and it's just like, it was meant to be. We just had to break away and find ourselves, and we were brought back together.
That's awesome. That is a great story, actually. So with you guys' story, this also leads to the next question. Do you believe in soulmates?
Oh, absolutely. Based off of our story, pretty much. It's funny because even during the times that we're away from each other, we've actually, come to each other and said this when we're talking. There's just random times that we would look each other up and see what was going on in our lives and everything. Like, there was still a connection there for some reason, but we, at that point, we're like, oh, well, he's married, so, oh, he has a kid, there's no chance. And then just coming across each other so randomly and then being inseparable for, basically the rest of our relationship since that night that we found each other. I definitely believe he was my soulmate.
That's awesome. That's good. Brian, when you hear this, man, she put it out there. She, she turned you down and she's admit that you are the soulmate. So how would you describe your weight loss journey? My
weight loss journey in all has been extremely hard and amazing, and it's been up and down. Before I did find the 21-day meal plan, it was just constantly up and down, feeling defeated, feeling good, feeling, like I'm on top of the world, to feeling like I'm worthless. And then, I also suffer from major anxiety, and so that would get to me, and it still gets to me some days, even now. But now it's pretty much been either at a standstill or going uphill since last August when I started the meal plan. Of course, my weight will fluctuate. I'll gain, 5 pounds here, then lose it, and then I'll gain 7 pounds and lose it. But it's off my own, most of the time it's off my own mistakes, well, I shouldn't have eaten all that with the sodium in it, or I should have drank more water. But I definitely say that the hardest parts, rather than when I gain the weight back, is the plateaus. Like, whenever I hit a plateau, it goes on usually for like a month, and it's hard because I'm putting in even more work, and I'm trying to, I'm like, what do I need to change up? And eventually I hit it, and then it like drops all of a sudden, and it feels amazing. Like, I've definitely gained a lot of confidence in myself, in my appearance. I've stayed committed this time, I love seeing the progress I make, not just on the scale, but looking in the mirror. I'm a completely different person. I put on these clothes. I am in a size large. I started in a size 3X. I haven't been a size large since, my freshman year in high school. And it's definitely been standstill or uphill since I found the plan. It's still hard. There's days where I don't want to do anything. I just want to lay there. I have no energy. This morning I had a hard time finding the energy to even get through my workout, and for no reason. I just didn't have it. But everyone has those days, and everyone has ups and downs, and I have figured out that I'm not alone in that with all my sport and all the people I follow and everything. And it's still pretty good. It's definitely, the good outweighs the bad for sure.
How different are your children's personalities? Do they take after mom or dad?
Oh my gosh, they're all so different. My stepdaughter is this crazy, goofy little outgoing girl. She's starting to become really sassy and thinks she's an adult when she's 8 years old. My daughter, my oldest, she is 4. She's about to be 5. That girl is like every personality in one. She is definitely a daddy's girl. She adores him and she wants to be just like him. She is not very tough anymore, like when it comes to pain, but she can be tough. She is extremely smart. She's always been, ahead of her age. She is extremely sassy and girly, but she's not afraid to get dirty either. She's my sweet little girl, though. She's extremely polite, and she's so sweet. And then my son, who just turned 2, we call him, the little tornado. He is wild wind, definitely all boy. He loves to get dirty and make messes and everything, but he has the sweetest smile and he gets along with pretty much anybody. He is obsessed with Batman. But he used to be a mama's boy, but I definitely think that he is turning into Dad's mini-me.
Yeah.
He copies everything that Brian does now.
Nice. What's his favorite Batman villain? I'm a big comic fan, so that's just interesting.
So he loves Batman, and right now he's been really into the Joker.
Yep. Yeah,
like he can point out who the Joker is.
That's great. Joker, Scarecrow, what is it, Mr. Freeze?
Something kids always, would get into, like that Batman animated series that was out when I was a kid. That we would always watch that after school. It was fun. It was fun to see that. That's how we knew school had just gotten out. Like if you were sick or something, because Batman, the animated series would always come on right after.
Yeah. They just added some of the older cartoons to Netflix, and he just sits there and zones out on them.
Yeah, you gotta love it. So, what's one of the hardest things you've had to endure in your life?
The hardest is my senior year in high school. Things went kind of downhill with my dad, really, really bad, and he left and didn't really want to have anything to do with me because I had stood up to him. We still have issues to this day. We tried building a relationship, and it just doesn't work out. And then in January, around New Year's, I lost my mammy, who's my mom's mom. And it's definitely been the hardest loss I've ever gone through.
Well, that's unfortunate. My condolences to your family on the loss. I myself have lost, not being a competition or anything like that. But yeah, I lost my mom's brother, my uncle, the last August. Yeah, I totally understand how, it's one of the hardest things that you had to go through, and just seeing a person there, you're so used to seeing them in a certain way, you know what I mean? Like when you're away from, I don't know how far your mammy lived from you, but going to visit family, and you're so used to seeing that individual being in that particular room, and then you go in that room and they're never going to return. You know what I mean? It's
extremely hard.
Yeah, it's something we're all still dealing with it to this day. But that was a great testimony from your life as far as what's been hard for you to endure in your life. And we'll move on to the next question, which is, what is your greatest accomplishment thus far?
I'd say my greatest accomplishment was finally, seeing myself as, my husband sees me, beautiful and, a good person. And I've never really loved myself. And I've finally started loving myself. I'm not near my goal yet, but I'm accepting, the journey, and accepting myself in this journey, and finally just showing myself love, not putting myself down.
I think that's something we all should do. Learn to love ourselves. And honestly, I think the world would be in a better place if we all decided to actually love ourselves, because we can get so caught up in social media that we start comparing ourselves to everybody else, that what we see, not knowing what they may be dealing with. And when you focusing on yourself, your life seems to be a little bit better. You know what I mean? It's like you got goals to knock out. You do that, bam, you'll inspire others and motivate others. But you're focusing clearly just on you, and it really is a great feeling to do so. I'm working on that same path, trying to learn to love myself, maybe for the first time in my life. And it feels good. It's different. It's uncomfortable, and uncomfortable means growth. So we'll just move forward, going with that. So what advice would you offer someone that's going down the very similar path that you have as far as weight loss goes?
I would just tell them, everyone's going to have, ups and downs, and just not to give up. I tell people all the time, even just getting started, you're the only person standing in your way. You can't let yourself stop yourself from meeting your goals or making yourself happy. So I tell people all the time, just don't give up. Don't tell yourself, well, I can't do that. And because everyone they can, like, no matter where you're starting, you can do it. It may be really hard, or it may come easy to you. Either way, you know, you can't give up on yourself. And that's what probably took me so long, is I would bring myself down or tell myself that I couldn't do it. And now, you know, I don't say I can't do it. I say, okay, well, today I'm not getting that far, but I'll try again.
Well, we got all the business-related questions knocked out. Now we're going to get into, like, I would say, the personal side of Kayla. So, what is, or more so just more so questions of your likes or whatever, favorites. So, what is your favorite TV show right now?
Right now, me and my husband are binge watching Supernatural.
So, what was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
Hard to remember. I didn't watch a lot of TV. I still don't watch that much TV. When I was younger, I liked to go outside and everything. But if I was watching TV, I remember watching, you know, just like good old like Bugs Bunny and stuff like that. So
what's your favorite thing to do for me time, being the lady of the house, where it's just for mom?
If I need me time, I will probably either go work out, or I like to go walking. I love to get my nails done, but that's become more of a routine thing. I love to go shopping. Sometimes I'll definitely just go for a drive, you know, blare my music that I can listen to, and windows down, you know, just take it in, and I love driving around because I love seeing all the scenery, and I love, you know, getting in my head. So.
All right. And what's your idea of a perfect day?
A perfect day would be waking up not too early with my kids, not being whiny. We have dance parties in the kitchen, so definitely a dance party in the kitchen. And then taking them, you know, to the lake and enjoying the weather, spending the day with my family, friends too. I love cookouts, so just spending time with people, making memories.
And your favorite type of food?
My favorite type of food, so I was trying to think about this. I'm pretty sure my favorite food is actually Mexican. Okay. There's so many different meals that I love of Mexican food.
Okay. What type of meals of Mexican food?
Well, I love like stuffed peppers. I love to eat like street tacos, and I love pretty much all the messy stuff. I love fajitas. There's at Chewy's, which is a Mexican restaurant here, they have this enchilada, and it has like a fried egg on it. And it's just something different, and I don't know. I love all of it.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Mexican is great. Greasy, sends you to the bathroom, but it's great. For sure. So 3 of your favorite songs growing up.
Growing up, when I was super young, I was totally into the Spice Girls. That was like my favorite. I probably ruined that cassette tape listening to it so many times. I remember being in an airport and have my headphones on, you know, with my cassette player, and I'm just belting. I'm like 8 years old, and I'm singing "Wannabe" by Spice Girls, and I have all these people looking at me, and it was just so funny. And then I definitely love 80s music, you know, 80s rock bands, Def Leppard, so Pour Some Sugar on Me, and then AC/DC as well. It's hard to choose. I love music, so hard to choose my favorite songs.
Yeah, I too, a big Spice Girl fan. That's a little fun fact about me as a kid. I was middle school when they were out. Like, Two Become One was probably, and still today is one of my favorite. The melody, like, again, when initially the strings, when it comes on, is just so infectious. Like, I love that record. Two Become One.
I still love their music.
Yeah, Two Become One, and probably Too Much. So basically, like the slower ballads that they have than like the fast records, which are great too. And yeah, so what's your idea of a romantic evening for you and your husband when kid free?
My idea is probably going to be one of my favorite dates with him. He took me. It was a surprise, and we went out to this lake in the evening, and like right as the sun was going down, and he had picnic blankets. He laid it out. We were right by the boat docks, and we had a little picnic, and then we were sitting there with some music, and there was fireflies everywhere. So I would definitely love reenact that date because it was so romantic, like right out of a movie.
Coffee or tea?
Oh, for sure, coffee. I am a Starbucks junkie.
You know, everybody that comes on this show has been like crazy into like Starbucks. I think I'm probably like the only tea person that I've come across, at least from doing the show. But it's interesting. So, what's your favorite cup of coffee?
So, my favorite cup coffee is I get iced coffee with white mocha, and I get cold foam on it. But the coffee I usually drink is just iced coffee with almond milk.
So, a beach or a cabin getaway?
At this point, I'm wanting to go to the beach.
Cool. Why beach over cabin?
Right now, I'm excited for summertime. I'm excited because I'm more confident now, and so I'm not scared of the beach.
Yeah.
And I love listening to, the waves crashing. I love listening to all the birds and all the families having fun and stuff. I love laying on the beach. It's very calming for me.
Yeah. So living in Texas, how far do you guys live from the beach?
Hours.
Oh.
They're far away.
What's your favorite beach in Texas to go to, or that you went to growing up?
I've been to Galveston Beach, but mostly the beaches I went to were in Virginia. I think it was Virginia Beach because I went like almost every summer with my aunt. But now we have Granbury Lake down here, and they have like this little beach. It's a lake beach, but it does good for now.
Yeah, that's funny. You went to, that's my home. That's where I'm from, Hampton Roads area. 757. I grew up in Suffolk, Virginia. And another fun fact is that I lived in Virginia from 95 to 03, and I never went to the beach. Never.
What?
Never went to the beach.
But it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I went to the beach for the first time. I would say last year with my girlfriend, and I introduced her to the family, and then we went out. She was the type that liked to venture out and go do different things. So we went to Virginia Beach. I got to see like the big Neptune statue and all that. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
The beach looks nice. It was cool. Your favorite Disney movie?
I love Disney movies. Probably just as much as my kids do. Me and my husband both do. We watch them and are entertained by them just as much. But probably my favorite that I can think of right now is Rapunzel, like Tangled.
Tangled, yeah. I've never seen that one. That's one of the ones.
It's so cute.
Yeah, that was. I think I was in a jail. I was probably I was a young adult, so probably like early 20s when that movie came out. So yeah, it's kind of like I don't know. Me and Disney kind of had a separation. I don't really remember much about that one. But so it is about Rapunzel. Let's see what's next here. So who's your Hollywood crush?
Mark Wahlberg. For sure.
Yeah, not a bad choice. Okay, so what about even as a childhood? Same thing, or it was someone else?
So when I was younger, I had the last Hollywood crush I remember. There's two different ones. Was definitely Channing Tatum and Bradley Cooper.
So the high school you were.
Yeah.
Okay.
High school.
That makes sense. That makes sense now. Okay. We roughly reached the end of the interview. I want to thank you again for all, like I said, for being on this show, being on this podcast, Interview with Rome. And thank you for giving just a little small light of what it's like to be Kayla Edgemon and everything that you go through and everything that you've gone through thus far in your life, and the people that that mean the most to you, your support system, and even what it's like to have a perfect day in your life. So before we get out of here, I want to know, how can people follow you? Just let them know like your name on Instagram, and I definitely want to give a shout out to Tiffany, and how to contact her so that others may be helped with this very same weight loss plan.
Yeah, my Instagram is wowitskayla, just all one word. And If you want to follow me, that's super awesome. You can even send me a DM, that you heard me on here. The link to the plan, if you are interested in it, is actually in my bio on Instagram. And if you message me, I can give you a discount code. And then if you want to look up, anyone else's progress, all you have to do is search hashtag 21-day meal plan on Instagram, and you'll see thousands and thousands of people that are on the same plan and how amazing they're doing.
So if anybody else that, again, is listening to this podcast and you have your own weight loss journey and you're interested in being on the show, feel free to contact me at official Romey-Mak at gmail.com or through Instagram, which is the official Romey-Mak page, or 2 Cents the podcast is another username that can be used up there. But for me and for Kayla, we want to thank you guys for listening, but this has been an interview with Rome, and we're out.
Romey-Mak.